come on into my yarn room. I'm going to show you around. Ignore any barking dogs or tippy tapping of little feet. Yes, there is a clothes hamper in my yarn room. It's the only place we had to put it. Come on in. This room is both my yarn room and my home office. So a little bit about some of the art in here I'm going to tell you about. I'm going to tell you all the little design features I have going. This is the very first painting I ever bought. I think I was maybe 22, 23 years old. So it's nothing incredibly special in the art world, but it's special to me. So it stays in here. Then here we have a cute little chair that belongs to it belongs to my daughter from when she was a little kid, and we use it for Atticus. And right now it's holding all my yarn whips and my sock yarn. So a lot of you know about this bag. This is all of my sock yarn. People don't realize how full it is. Look in there. Woo-hoo. Yes, all sock yarn, all bagged up and ready to go. All right, these are whips, various whips, more whips. This is a yoga cushion, which I tell myself, oh, I should go sit on that yoga cushion and do some stretches. Do I ever do it? Nope. All right, Grandma's last nerve. I guess this is now officially mine because my daughter broke up with her boyfriend and he gave her this, so it's mine. Okay, all of my books that I have to read. I also have a few knitting things stashed in here. Well, first we have my I knit so I don't choke people yarn bowl. I'm afraid of breaking that, so I don't really use it for what it's meant to be. I have various little containers full of yarn knickknacks. I think, okay, that's actually a bunch of wires, but yeah. Some of them have like pins and stitch markers and all. These are all of my needles that I have. I've shown this before. I've stuck them in folders and marked which size they are, so they're easy to find. And these are just my circular needles and also my ChowGoo minis. And then my regular big needles are in my yarn cabinet. Good way to keep track of my needles. My pin collection, which I've talked about before, and maybe we'll get some close-ups, we'll see. These are on my Olympic pins and some other sports. And these are on my Disney pins. I've run out of room for Disney pins, so I guess that means I don't have to go back to Disney anything. All right, this, I just put some knitting related magazines in, and I try not to buy too many of these because I don't like to have the physical magazine. I'd rather have a digital version, but when I do, I plan on sticking them up here. So my actual desk, it is a stand-up desk, so it'll go up and down. I can raise it and all that. And yes, I really do use 2 screens. I actually use 3 screens, sometimes 4. Yeah, okay. Oh, over here we have the view out my window, which is really nice while I'm working. All of my little succulents. A couple of my sock blockers. I don't use these as much anymore now that I have the metal ones, and I also have some blue plastic ones, so I use those, but so these are kind of more decorish. So these are a few of my, well, not all Stephen West. This is Stephen West. Was it from 2 years ago? The MCAL, I believe. And this is I can't remember who wrote this pattern, but yeah. And then some brioche knitting I did, my Stephen and Penelope bag. This is actually a coat closet, but there's also office supplies in there. Yes, and my vacuum cleaner because gotta vacuum, right? Okay, now this is where most of my knitting stuff is. I'm gonna kick the dog bed out of the way. The dog bed is for office security. All right, so I've got This is just the leftovers of some socks that I knit, and they're all fingering weight, and then these are DK weight. This is actually a real crystal vase that someone gave my husband and I when we got married a long time ago, almost 30 some years ago. I don't know. It's been a long time. Oh, and then these are just kind of more decorative. I don't really use uh, single point or even double point needles, but I like how they look in here. So yeah. This is some more art. This is probably the second piece of art that I bought. It was I bought it in San Francisco. I think it was, I don't know, it's probably been almost 40 years ago, but it's a photographic print. So all right, I keep some, well, I don't really have knitting stuff in here, it's just other supply stuff. These are random crochet needles, and this is the crystal that's up. These two pieces are from my mom. I inherited them from her. They're Waterford crystal. So I don't really have any use for them except for storing random things. All right, my incense burner, because I like to start my work week with like a incense to get me focused. All right, I'm gonna show it to you now. This is where all the stash resides. You ready? There's also some office stuff, so just know that it has dual purpose. Ready? All right. All right, this side is obviously some office supply stuff that I use while I'm working. I don't really use the printer, but it's the only printer between my house and our son's house, and we all share it. All right, so things I've got going. My ball winders back there. My all of my stitch markers have little clear bins that I have them in. Things like that. This is actually more stitch markers I had extra of. Just some cheap stitch markers I bought on Amazon. And they're in the Queen's Blend tea can from Fordham and Mason. This is my broken bowl, but I hang on to it because I use it for scraps when I'm cutting off ends and things. And my barber cord. This is a bag. I'll go through this bag in another video sometime just for fun, but it's just random knitting things, and including this bag of ends that I've cut off, like after I've woven them in, and I'm just storing them in here. I don't know why. Just can't bring myself to get rid of them. All right, the actual yarn stash. All of it except for one skein is bagged up and in here. The reason I keep it bagged is because I got really paranoid last summer about moths getting it and eating it. So I tried to do it by color, so some of them are kind of color coded. They're not by weight or anything. There are, believe it or not, 400 plus skeins of yarn in this, which is amazing when you think about it. So I'm not going to pull it all out. Y'all know what skeins of yarn look like. I've gone through it before in past videos. Yeah, so that's it. I also have under here this, which is just loose or skeins that I've already used. There's my dog Obi. I've already used these, but I have like partial skeins, so they're kind of set aside so I can use them for other projects. And I know they're there. And then I also have some little Ziploc bags of other heavier weight, like scrap yarn. I think this is worsted weight, things like that. So that's it. That's the new yarn room / office. I got one more place that I didn't show you, and I know you guys will want to see this. Remember, I've shown you videos before. Our old place, I had the door with all the project bags. Here it is over here. I had 16 or 17 bags on there at the other place. I whittled it down to just these 5 bags. I got really brutal a few weeks ago when I was putting stuff away after our move. I was like, what am I really going to knit? So this is it. I can open it, I can close it. It works like it's supposed to. These are all projects that I'm going to cast on eventually when I get through the pile of whips. All right, thanks for coming by. And next week we'll be back with our regular vlog. Bye. See ya.